Hi, my name is Steven. Welcome to my life surviving schizophrenia. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I have recently done a video on my delusions, so I want to do a video today about my hallucinations. One of the ones I remember best was when I was delusional about people hunting me. I felt like I was always being watched. So, pretty much every night, or whenever it was dark, I remember if I looked out the window, I'd see eyes watching me. I was 12 at the time. This was early on in my schizophrenia and the onset of that, as well as my psychosis. And man, that was terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. I would not sleep well. I would just be paranoid always that people were outside my window watching me and I could see their eyes. I also remember, this was actually well before my anything was really going wrong. Before I was diagnosed with schizophrenia, before I became psychotic. I believe I was 10 actually. So about 2 years before I became ill. And I remember looking out the window before going to bed, because I heard some noise, and I saw green glowing people in our pool in our backyard, which I assumed were aliens. And I remember being really scared, but for some reason I just ignored it, I guess, and went to sleep. That stuck with me, but I don't know why I didn't do more than that. I don't know. This is kind of weird, but I think now, thinking back on it, that was most likely a hallucination as well. I also remember when I was 4, we just moved into this house actually, where I am right now. And of course this is way before any signs of schizophrenia was being shown when I was 4 years old. And I remember I was actually falling asleep, and I remember looking up down the hallway and I saw a ghost. What I thought was a ghost, at least. I remember feeling scared, and I remember thinking I have to do something about it. So I was going to get ready to get up and go, I don't know, deal with it somehow and get it to go away. And I looked back and it was gone. I equated that to some, I don't know, spiritual thing at the time. But looking back, that was probably a very, very early symptom, I guess, of my schizophrenia that was yet to come years later. All of those that I have mentioned, those hallucinations, were scary and negative. But not every hallucination is like that. Also, when I was 12, I remember watching TV, and I got up to go use the bathroom, and I walked past the remote. And I thought, you know what, I hope this remote's having a good day. So I decided to talk to the remote and ask it how it was doing. It didn't really respond, but I kept talking. Hope it had a good day, hope he was feeling well, if he liked the TV show I was watching. And then I went along with my business. Not quite what most people think about hallucinations, or how hallucinations are, I think, but they're not always scary. I mean, it's not a good thing to have hallucination, but they're not always a bad thing, so to speak, in that regard. They're not always something horrible. It could just be something like that. And so, I remember feeling pretty happy after talking to the remote. I just felt like I had made his day, even though he never said anything really back, and he obviously was just a remote and wasn't real. I wasn't living, rather. So yeah, I just want to tell you about some of my hallucinations and tell you what it was like for me. So I hope that gave some better insight into what hallucinations can actually be like. Yeah, so I hope you have a happy and healthy rest of your day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye.